So one of the biggest things that you want to do is intervene. You are staging an intervention. Have you ever heard that term before? Maybe you've done it for a friend or something. And when you think about it in that terms, you're stopping the friend from making a bad decision, right? You are intervening. Well, guess what? Just like you do that in real life, that's exactly what you're going to do with social media. So you're going to intervene. Your audience member, your person on your page was going to make one decision, that you're going to provide this information that they can't get out of their heads. And now all of a sudden, instead of doing this, they're going to do that. And to be able to do that, you've got to be able to put yourself in their shoes. What's your audience, your viewers' problem? And what is your solution? Because you're always going to have a solution. So for example, if it's somebody that works all the time and they're driving home and they're stopping at the gas station, they're grabbing chips and a hot dog, right? Because it's easy. But all of a sudden you're going to introduce to them that maybe they could take a snack with them, or maybe they could have some pre-prepared meals, either with a crock pot or maybe those cute little, salads in a jar. Whatever it is, you've got the solution. And that's what you're going to start to provide over and over and over again. You had a problem. This is your solution. And a lot of times they don't even realize that they have that problem until you point it out to them, right? For example, a realtor, you're living in this neighborhood. That's your problem. This neighborhood was not meant for you. Here's the solution. Whatever it is, whatever your industry, hey, you've been feeling a little bit down in the dumps lately. It's because of your colors. You're wearing the wrong colors for this time of year. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is, because you can always come up with a solution for their problem. But remember, you got to put yourself in their shoes. What kind of things does your audience like to do? What kind of things should they be doing instead? You're always going to offer an alternative. They were going to do one thing, but because of what you posted or that video you did, they're now going to make a different decision.
So another way to intervene is to collaborate and facilitate with other people, because that promotes you even more as the expert, because you have that backup with you. And when I say collaborate with others, I don't necessarily even mean anybody in your company or anybody that you're directly associated with. Sometimes it's really great to get that outside validation from somebody that's not in your company. Like if you're in health and wellness and there's a doctor that you have interacted with that totally supports your product, you could do an interview with them, because they're not necessarily endorsing your product base, but they're endorsing you as a person. Or say you're into health and fitness and you go to a gym and you interview the gym owner, and they talk about, say you have a workout plan or whatever, and they go over what kind of fitness plans you should be doing. And so they validate you, and it shows that you are somebody that is out there working with other people. And it's not just that you're saying this, like you're getting everything you say backed up by an expert, and that expert endorses you. I mean, live interviews is a great way to do it. You can also join them on a podcast or invite them as a guest. You can do live videos on Instagram, on Facebook, just anywhere, any way that somebody else is validating what it is you have to offer. Another thing is, when you do this, have confidence about you, because you are the expert. They shouldn't be second guessing you. They shouldn't be questioning you. I tell this all the time. I'm associated with youth soccer, and in our soccer we have the youth refs, which is a great side gig for them. But I always tell them, when you're out there, you're the authority on that field. Yeah, the coaches that are coaching that game are older than you, and sometimes they think they know more than you do. But you're the authority figure out there. Blow that whistle, like you are in control of that, because that confidence makes it so that they don't question you, and that they know that you're not going to back down. You know what you're doing. They should be there to support you. So the same goes with your business. Have that confidence to where nobody's going to question what you're saying, because you know exactly what you're talking about.
And we're not going to get into this here, but it's a subject for another day. But you can also do that with a group, because when you build that group, you're the expert, you threw that group together. So there's so many fun ways to go about getting that credibility. But at the end of the day, it all goes back to your audience. If you bring in an expert that has nothing to do with your field, or nothing to do with what, even if it is something to do with your field, but if your audience has not been conditioned to have that person come on, they're not going to care. They just aren't. It could be the top person in whatever industry, field, whatever that you brought on there. So for example, I mean, if you bring on, Messi or one of these awesome soccer players, but your audience doesn't care about soccer and they're big time swimmers, although they might actually still appreciate because that's sports, but maybe they're into theater or film or something, and they're going, I've never heard of this guy. It's not going to do you any good. So make sure that those experts are totally related to your audience, because you're looking at who do you want to appeal to. You're not going to appeal to everybody. So when you think about that, I think that's the biggest number one problem that people run into when they come up with branding. Because I'll ask them, who's your target audience? Who's interested in what you're doing? And what's the stock answer every single time? I don't care if they're in network marketing. I don't care if they're gym owners. I don't care if they're restaurant owners. I don't care if they're realtors. Their answer every single time is everybody. My product is a great fit for everybody on this planet. Wrong. It's not. Now, really, it might be something that everybody should be using, but that's too broad. When you're that broad, instead of appealing to anybody, you're actually appealing to nobody. Those other people will trickle in, but you've got to be targeted. You've got to find that audience or your business won't grow. So before you ever post anything, every single time before you post anything, you're going to ask yourself, is this a good fit for my audience? What is my audience conditioned to? What are they used to getting from me? What do they want now? Does it align with my core deliverable? And remember, your core deliverable is you're delivering something, right? So if your deliverable is, I'm going to teach people to be more well-rounded in health, then everything that you do better go back to that health. I see this from time to time, and I'm sorry if I offend you, but I'll see somebody posting, my supplement's amazing, I've never slept better. And 3 days later, they're posting, oh, I was up all night. Anybody up with me tonight? Who are my late nighters that can't sleep? Don't do that. Even if you have that off night, make sure that everything that you're putting on there is pointed back to that core alignment. And it's not off topic. It's not a distraction. So for example, I know that you guys have pages that you like to follow. Why is that? You go back there because you know what you're going to get. So if I go to a coupon site and all of a sudden one day they're talking about cars, I'm going to be confused. Same with if I go to the car site and all of a sudden they're talking about home decor. It just doesn't mesh. So make sure that you're posting everything right back to targeted back to that core deliverable. Now that doesn't mean that you can't do fun things in there, like, the sports mom, you need a quick meal, or that empty nester who, maybe meals for two, whatever it is. But make sure that all of them lead back to that main point, and it's not a distraction. And don't get me wrong, you can post pictures of your family, which I know on the outset is maybe a distraction, but it's not, because people also want to know you. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that every single time you go to the ball field, you're showing Johnny hitting a home run, and now Johnny's, scoring a goal, and now we're at Lisa's dance recital, and now we're at Lisa's practice. I don't mean that. That gets old too. Nobody wants to see your kids that much. But show things that you're doing. Show your lifestyle, because people will love that. It's like that favorite TV show that you come back because you love what they've delivered, but you also come to know and love that person, and you love their family, and you love the things that they're doing, and you love that they're just a real person. So that's kind of what I mean by that, but make sure that you're targeted. So if you've decided all of my posts are going to cater to the young college kids, you better make sure that all of your posts cater to those young college kids. If you're catering to the mom with young kids, all of your posts better be relevant to that mom with young kids. And I promise they'll start asking you questions. You'll be the expert, and you'll be the go-to. You do not need to always make it about your business, and it better not be.
Yeah, and we want to assure you, I know that sometimes when we talk about this, about limiting your audience. A lot of people get really nervous and are like, oh no, but if I limit my audience, I'm not going to have enough sales. I'm not going to be able to touch enough people. But there are so many people out there. You're not going to run out of people to contact. And one of the ways you're going to make sure of that is that you're going to be posting stuff that is going to make you stand out. And they're going to be like, I cannot get enough of that person. Like, what's going to happen if they don't use you? I mean, the consequence of them not using you is going to far outweigh them going away from your page, because they don't want to miss out on what you have to offer. You know, if it's your expertise in finances, if it's your expertise in finding that real estate investment, or if it's your expertise in health and wellness or exercise workouts, you want to make sure you stand out. The way you're going to do this, so we kind of talk about a front end and a back end. And the way that I can best explain this is when you go to like that high-end shopping center in your town, and you have the front end of the store where it's always just looks immaculate. The windows are always clean. When you walk in, every display is just perfect. It's really inviting. You know, you could spend hours and hours in there just looking around. But what you don't realize is that if you were to go around to that back of that building, in the alleyway that they have, where all the deliveries are made, where all the garbage is taken out, where the employees all park, and where all of the ugly stuff of the business goes on, that's necessary. Like, that's what makes their business run. And so the same thing with your business. You've got to take care of all of that back end stuff before you put out the front end. But you need to know what it is that your customers are coming in to see, what they want, what you're going to provide them with. You know, on a live video, you're going to be prepared on what you're going to present to them. So you have already done all the research. You've done all, you've read the articles that you want to highlight, or you've talked to the experts, so that when you do your deliverable, you are, like I said, the expert. It's going to be something that they can't live without. Like, every time you go live, like, they've got their notifications on so that they don't miss a live that you have, because you're offering them such good quality content. You're also going to want to learn about the people that are going to use your product. Like I said, when you're setting up that front end of your store, you want to know what they're coming and looking for. You want to know what they are searching for, what's going to solve the problem that they have, what's going to make them want to know more from you, what's going to cause them to reach out and message you and contact you, so that you can take that conversation offline to where they might even call you on the phone. Because once you start having that one-on-one interaction, it's a lot different than them just responding to a post or liking a post or commenting. You also want to try and figure out who's going to take time to hang out on your page. You know, is it going to be the stay-at-home mom that wants easy meal plans? Or is it going to be the real estate investor that wants to know the tax liens that are coming up this month? You know, so figure out who that is, and then you want to appeal to them, and you want to stand out. You want to present that information to them in a way that nobody else is. And a great way to do that, as Sarah's pointed out several times and is fantastic at doing, is with your live videos, because that allows people to see real life, and they make that connection better than if, you know, like I kind of sometimes tend to do with the perfect post, the perfect picture with the perfect saying. It makes it more real, and they'll come asking for more information from you.
So along with that, you just want to stand out. If you go to some of the same pages, it's always the same stuff, right? All the realtors tend to be posting about open houses and buy my house, use me. All of the makeup ladies tend to do, you know, long posts about how to do the makeup or buy my makeup. All the health people seem to be promoting, here's my shake, buy my shake. It doesn't stand out. It tends to be white noise. In fact, sometimes if you do it too often, It's just annoying. You will lose friends and you will lose followers, and you're going to wonder why. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to start doing stuff differently. So, for example, the realtor that does the open house, you're going to go in the week before the open house comes, and you're going to say, hey, I'm doing an open house this week. It's going to be on Friday. It's going to be at this cute, perfect family home. I know you got the starter house. You fell in love with the starter house. You fell in love with the neighborhood. You love it. You've had a couple kids now. You're starting to outgrow it, but you're nervous. You're scared. You don't know where you want to go. You love your neighborhood. Well, you are going to love this neighborhood. It's got the yards where the kids all come and congregate. There's a cute little park down the street. You're going to love that all of a sudden you've got an extra bathroom for getting ready in the morning. You're going to love that your kids can spread out a little bit and you're not going to feel like you're always cleaning up their toys. You are just going to love it. So you're going to come in on Friday. I'm going to show you that house. You're going to fall in love with it, but I'm going to go show you 3 or 4 more. And then I guarantee you're going to come back and you're going to buy this one. It is perfect for you. So I look forward to seeing you on Friday. And then a couple days, go by, and then you're going to do it again. You can take a little bit different take on it. But then by the time Friday comes along, they're prepped, they're ready, they're excited to come see this house. You you touched upon a couple of their issues that they were having, and maybe some of them didn't even realize they had that issue, right? And as they're watching you, they're going to go, oh, they're right. We have kind of outgrown this house. Or, if it's that gourmet kitchen, you're going to appeal to those wives that love to cook. But again, make sure that it goes back to that core deliverable. But there's so many options with that. You can do that, with anything. You can do that with the health. You can do that with the wellness. You're prepping your audience. You're conditioning them for what they're going to get. And then when you do make offers, and when you do, tell them things that they can't miss out on, guess what? They're going to come back. They're going to come to you because they can't get it anywhere else, and they trust you. They like you. You've dealt with issues that they haven't even thought about before. So all of a sudden, you're it. You're the one. They're going to come back for you. And especially with like the realtors, there's 20,000 realtors right in that little 5-mile radius. You've got to do something different. If you're the person just putting flyers on the door or those notepads, is it really going to stand out for you? It's not. Why are you different? Why is now the right time to use you? What do you have that nobody else can offer? Gym owners, there's a gym on every single corner. What makes your gym different? It's you. That's the difference. Whether it's a health and wellness company, whether, it's a restaurant, whether you're a realtor, whether you're a network marketer, the difference that they can't get anywhere else is you. It's your information. It's your personality. And it's all about conditioning. It's all about prepping your market. Think about those movie trailers. They post those months in advance. Like, we went to a movie today, and they're posting trailers that aren't going to come out until the end of the year, several months from now. And there's logic in that, because if they didn't, have that fun excitement, if there was nothing to look forward to, guess what? The movie would bomb. Nobody would come. If all of a sudden you turned on your TV one day and it was, oh, it's playing today, come see it. There isn't that anticipation. Or, even worse, if you didn't even know it was there and you had to actually go to the movie theater every single day to see what was playing, you'd be confused. So that's what you're doing with your audience, is you're prepping them to build excitement. You want them to know what's coming next. What action do you want them to do? Let them anticipate, build that anticipation, and you build it from post to post to post as they start to know what they're going to get when they come to your page. And then they will reach out and they will ask you. You're no longer hunting, but now all of a sudden you get to gather.